morning, students. Myself in Lenin Rakesh. I'm going to present the subject rapid prototyping. Topic is Introduction to Rapid Prototyping, Basic Operations. Rapid prototyping introduction. First of all, rapid prototyping we can define as the group of techniques which is being used for quickly fabricating a scale model of any part or assembly using the three-dimensional computer-aided design data, or we can also term that as the CAD data. So how you can define rapid prototyping? We can define as the group of techniques. So which is being used for fabricating quickly for the scale model can be of our part or say the assembly. So with our three-dimensional computer aided design data, it means the CAD data. If you take RP, so it is capable for fabricating the parts. So quickly with too complex shape. So easily when we compare with our traditional manufacturing technology. So in our RP, so we can quickly fabricate models comparing to our conventional, say the traditional type. If you take the rapid prototyping, basic operations are, there are 5 steps. Now there are 5 basic operations which are basically involved in RP, rapid prototyping. First one is create a CAD model of the design. It means we create the computer aided design CAD model of our design of what we are going to make. It can be a gear, shaft, piston. So any type of RP model, it can be related to medical applications, electronics, aeronautical, dental, dentistry. So the second is we convert, second step or second operation is we convert the CAD model to our STL format. STL format is standard triangulation language. Say it is the stereolithography format. That is the second one. First we create the CAD model. Next we convert the CAD model to our STL format. The third one is slice the STL file into thin cross-sectional layers, CS layers. It means third one is slicing. Slicing our STL file, stereolithography file into the thin cross-sectional layers, thin CS layers. Slicing we need to do. Then the fourth step or the fourth operation which is involved in RP is construction of the model. So how we will construct one layer on top. One by one layer we will be constructing. One layer on top of the other layer. Again one layer on top of the other layer. One by one layer we will be constructing. So one layer we will construct, another top. Again one more layer, again one, like which. So we construct the model. This is the fourth operation or the fourth step. Then the fifth one is, fifth operation or fifth step is we clean and finish the model. That is the fifth step. So here totally 5 steps are there in rapid prototyping. The basic operation, we create the CAD model of our design. Then we convert the computer aided design model to the STL format. It is nothing but the stereolithography or standard triangulation language format. Then slicing we will do, slice our STL file into thin CS layers. Then we construct the model one layer top another. Then we clean and finish the model. That is the fifth operation or fifth step. After completing, the fifth step is we clean and we finish the model. So the first step or first procedure, one by one, we are going to learn. So CAD model creation. What is CAD model creation? First of all, our object, whatever our object can be a gear, our object can be any model which we are a propeller shaft, a piston, or a connecting rod, or any component, first we have to model using our CAD software package. The first case is we have to model using our CAD software package, or we can use the CMM. CMM stands for Coordinate Measuring Machine. Or we can also use a laser scanner. Suppose an image is there, so the same replica we can take by means of this laser scanner, we can scan the entire picture and we can store, and that we can take as our CAD data, for which we can build our model. So in our first step, whatever object we are going to build, so we will use the CAD software package, or we can use CMM, coordinate measuring machine, or even a laser scanner. Then the second is solid modulus. Here solid modulus represents, say, the pro engineer, pro E. Here what for we use? So for representing the three-dimensional objects more precisely or more accurately than our wireframe modeling, comparing our AutoCAD, here it will yield good results, or say efficient or better results. So in our first step CAD model creation, first our object which we are going to build, we will model. Okay, we will need to model. So using the CAD software package or our CMM, or even by the laser scanner. So our solid modelers, we use the Pro E, and we need to represent the 3D objects more precisely, accurately than when we compare our AutoCAD. Here we go for our Pro E also. So that will also yield the good results or better results. So this is the first step. In our second case, conversion, say, to our STL format. What is conversion to the STL format? Conversion to STL format means conversion to stereolithography format, or conversion to standard triangulation language format, stereolithography. First, how we will establish? So the consistency, say for the STL, if we are taking the stereolithography, that is the first RP technique. So that is the first RP technique. So the format we can adapt as our standards for our RP industry, rapid prototyping industry. Why we adapt all these means it will basically interact, or say it will act as an interface between our CAD software and our machines. So we establish the consistency. So the STL, that is the first RP technique format. So that is being adopted as our standards for our rapid prototyping industry. And as well as it will act as an interface between our CAD software and the machines. Then the second step, what we do here also, we can convert our CAD file, computer aided design file, into our STL format. Why we convert all this? Then alone the machine will accept, it can understand. So we cannot give the CAD file. So we have to convert that into a STL file. So alone the machine can accept. Then this format, STL format, so how it is? So it will represent a 3D surface. So as an assembly of our planar triangular facets. So first we establish the consistency of our STL. It is nothing but the first technique, RP technique. Then this format we adopt in our RP industry. So that will also act as an interface between our CAD software and our machines. CAD software and our machines. So the second step, if we are taking the second step, here we convert the CAD file into STL format. So that will represent the three-dimensional surface. So as an assembly, I'll say the planar triangular facets. Then the next one is our slice the STL file. So already we have discussed the slicing. So what defines slicing? The third step, what we have to do, a pre-processing program. So that will prepare the STL file which is about to be built. It means the third step or the third case is the pre-processing program. So that will prepare the STL file. So which we are going to build. And here the pre-processing software, what it does, it will slice our STL model. So into number of layers, say the thickness, how it will depend, say depending on say 0.01 mm to 0.7 mm thickness. So it will also depend on the build technique. If you take the program, so it can also generate an auxiliary structure. So the why the program, we need to generate the auxiliary structure. The main aim or say the purpose is for supporting the model during the building. So the third step is pre-processing program. So that prepares the STL file which we are going to build. So if we take the pre-processing software, it will slice our STL model. So into layers, say the layers, it will start from say 0.01 mm to 0.7 mm thickness. So it can also depend on the build technique. So the program, it can generate an auxiliary structure. What for means for supporting our model during our building. Then on supports, if we take, it is also useful for the delicate feature. Delicate feature, if we take, you can take overhangs, internal cavities, for all those, this auxiliary structure, say the supports, that will be very useful for our delicate features, say the overhangs, internal cavities. So the program itself, it will also generate the auxiliary structure as we have studied earlier. What for the main aim is for supporting our model during our building up of our model. So it will act as a support when we are building the model. So this is the third step. It is slicing the STL file or slicing. And then is our layer by layer construction. Layer by layer construction. Layer by layer construction is the fourth step. Fourth step is the actual construction of the part, layer by layer construction. So if you take RP machines, we can build one layer at a time, say from, we can take polymers or papers or powdered metal. So if we take layer by layer construction, that is the fourth step. Fourth step means it involves the actual construction of the part. That will resemble the actual construction. The RP machines that can build one layer at a time from the polymers, papers or the powdered metal. If you take most machines, most of the machines are basically autonomous. It doesn't need any human intervention. It means much amount of human support the machineries does not require. It means it is autonomous. It can do its operation on its own. Only less human intervention or say less human support these machines require. Why means these machines are autonomous. So the fourth step is our layer by layer construction. So that is our actual construction of our part or say the model. Here, one layer at a time, say from polymers, papers or the powdered metal, we are using the material. So it will build one layer at a time. So these machines, it is autonomous. It needs less human intervention or less human support. Then clean and finish. In clean and finish, The final step, that is the final step in the post processing. That is the final step in post processing. So here in clean and finish, it will also involve. So we remove the supporting, we remove the prototype from the machine and we detach any supports. So here it will basically involve removing our prototype from the machine and detaching any supports. This is the final step in post processing. So if you take some photosensitive materials, that will also, it needs fully curing. Why? Means before we use, say, the prototypes, it also requires minor cleaning and even surface treatment also it has to be done. So sanding we can do, sealing, painting the model. So that also it will improve the appearance and as well as the durability of the model. So the cleaning and finishing is the final step which is involved in post processing. So it will involve, say, removing the prototype from the machine and detaching any supports. So some photosensitive materials which has to be fully cured. So before we are using the prototypes, and it also requires some minor cleaning and surface treatment. Then the advantages. Advantages, if we are taking almost any shape or any geometric feature, we can produce. So whichever is not possible, first of all, whichever is not possible in case of traditional or say conventional type, some complicated shapes, gear, or any design, whichever it is complicated, we can make by means of the RP machine. So that is what almost any shape or geometric feature can be produced, any complicated shapes. Then the errors and flaws also we can detect at the early stage. Errors and flaws means any errors, any feature, so any changes are there, we can detect at the early stage, starting stage itself, not after finishing the model. So before itself, when we come to know the errors, we can change the design or any changes can be done at the early stage. So the errors or the flaws we can detect. If you take the RP, rapid prototyping, we can use in different industries and say fields of our machine. It can be medicine, we can use art, architecture, marketing. So medicine, medicinal purposes also, say we can biomedical applications, dental applications. So even say for tooth implant. So this RP machine plays an important role for arts, architecture. Say suppose architectural part, we can take any model so that we can build by means of this RP machine. Marketing, any prototypes we can build, can be a gear or any component we can build, and we can, before actual production, say we can show it. So the material wastage is reduced. If you go for conventional or say traditional, what happens there? The wastages are enormous in nature. In case of traditional, the wastages are enormous in nature in case of traditional or say conventional type, whereas here the material waste is reduced. Here we don't require any tooling. Tooling is not at all required in this case. That is most important. These are the advantages of our RP. Then disadvantages. Disadvantages, if you are taking, the price of this machinery or say the materials, it is bit higher. That is the first disadvantage. Then if you take the surface, so that is basically rougher when we compare our machined surface. If you take the conventional or the other traditional type, there the surface is very smooth surface finish we are getting. Whereas here the surface will be rougher than when we compare our machined surfaces. And here some materials are also brittle in nature. That is what the one of the disadvantage. And here the strength, if you take the RP parts, that is bit weaker in where? In Z direction than in another. So the strength of the RP parts also that is weaker in Z direction. So these are the disadvantages. Then the applications. Applications we can group into design. Design, if we are taking the applications, RP in design, it plays an important role. Important role in design means manufacturing of gear. So you can take crankshaft or any component. So any complicated shapes we can produce by means of RP, which is not possible by means of the conventional type. We can make by means of this RP. Then in engineering also it plays a major role. It can be biomedical, civil. Then in analysis and even planning department, this RP plays a major role. Analyzing a component or planning a planning. So in planning, in analysis, this RP plays a main role in tooling and in even in manufacturing, rapid tooling, and even in manufacturing, RP plays a main role. So the in industries also, they are getting much benefit from the RP. So industries, if we take, it is not limited basically to aerospace, automotive, biomedical, consumer, electrical, all those. So if you take aerospace, aeronautical applications also, our RP plays a major role in aeronautical applications. So our RP plays a main role in aeronautical, aerospace, that is what? Automotive. Automotive refers our automobile industries. Automotive are cars, lorries. So all our two-wheelers, trucks, all those automotive companies also take this RP into account. Here, the material here, when we go for RP, the wastage is very less. And the main of the advantage is we don't require any tooling. So that is what we go for our automotive applications. Then in biomedical, also it plays a main role. Suppose if you can take dentistry also, even in dentistry, dental applications, say for the root canal, so the tooth exact profile can be built up. So the replica or the same model we can build. We can take consumers. So the electrical appliances also, which we cannot produce by the conventional means or the traditional, we can go for our rapid prototyping. Here we don't require any tooling. The wastage of material is also very, very, very less when we compare to our general means, or say we can take the traditional means. So these applications we can group into design. Then in design we can take any number, say the design of gear, craft or any components, any small components or even complicated shapes we can build. In engineering, it can be engineering refers, it can be any type of engineering, whether mechanical, automobile. In all of the engineering applications, RP plays a main role. even in analysis, in planning, in tooling, rapid tooling, then in manufacturing industries. So the wide industries also we have seen, say the aerospace, then our automotive industries. So all these plays a main role in manufacturing. So the application point of view, even the biomedical applications also we can take into account. Biomedical consumable products also we can make by means of this RP machine. So that is highly possible, whichever we cannot make or possibly which is limited to say the traditional means, here in our RP it is possible. Whichever not possible by means of traditional or say even complicated shapes, RP machine fulfills all the requirements, even in electrical, any type of electrical components. So which we can make or say produce by means of our RP machine. The applications we can group various types of engineering, automotive, automobile is there, mechanical, then the analysis, planning, tooling, RT, rapid tooling, say RTV is there, silicon molding, vacuum molding. So in manufacturing, so the industries also, they are widely benefiting from this rapid prototyping. So in even RP plays a main role even if you take NASA. So in the rockets, we can take even in space stations, there we can take the RP machine to the space station or the space working station, where in the space station, when the space workshop, where they are using the RP machines, they take the RP machines there where small components which cannot be produced there. There they take this RP machine and they design, say by means of CAD is there, says all this they design, and whatever component is required, they can produce by means of this RP. So even in space stations, even in there, they are using this RP machine. That is one of the biggest advantage, or say even the applications. So there we cannot take this conventional machine there or traditional machine to space. So in space workstations and all, they are using this type of, they take the RP machine there, whatever model, CAD model they design, and they produce the part and they are fixing whatever component required. So this also plays an important role. Application in our RP, even our wings, aircraft, and n number of applications, we can go for our RP. So the application point of view. So we have seen what is RP. We have discussed what is introduction to RP. What are the various steps involved in RP? The 5 steps we have seen. What are all the advantages we have seen, the disadvantages. Finally, we have seen the applications. Applications in the design, say in the engineering and analysis, even in planning. Tooling refers the rapid tooling in manufacturing industry. It does not limit to that. Even in aerospace, automotive refers to our automotive industries. Say the automobile industry, that is what, biomedical, dentistry, say the consumable, consumer products, consumers, then the electricals, etc. So all these, our RP plays a main role. So this is about our, what is RP, rapid prototyping, introduction, it is given. The biomedical, the consumer, and the electrical appliances also can be done by means of, we can manufacture with the help of our RP machine. So industries also, they are much getting benefits. Because of this RP machine, the any type of complicated shapes we can produce. Thank you.